Hello, beautiful people. I'm Chris Maddox, founder of the Wild Woman Project and Wild Woman Fest. And I'm speaking to you today because we always meet like this at new moon time. And the new moon is upon us. It arrives on April 5th, 2019, and it initiates a cycle which will carry us all the way through May 3rd. So in that movement from a dark sky with no moon on the new moon, to the building of the light in the waxing phase, to that peak, that full moon point, and then again, the waning of the light back into the dark moon phase, we have this whole chapter to do with what we please. And the more and more we watch the sky and the more we tune into the cyclical nature of the natural world, the more we sort of wake up that cyclical nature in us, the wild in us, the moon in us, the sky in us. So here at the Wild Woman Project, we get really intentional with our moon cycles and we share in a theme. So this theme I'm really excited about for this new moon in Aries. Our theme is rewilding the self. Rewilding the self. And this marks the halfway point in the year-long journey that we are on, where we have been holding our larger tiny revolutions theme. So back in September, we started this theme, tiny revolutions, the idea that moon cycle by moon cycle, we can look to different areas of our life and we can focus in on them and we can ask ourselves big questions like, are my actions here in alignment with my values? Am I in my integrity here? How do I want to craft this piece of my life? How do I want to show up for this piece of my life? So we've been using the astrological house system, new moon by new moon, to focus on different life areas, because each of the houses in the astrological house system is a realm of experience, a slice of our life on earth. So here with the new moon in Aries, this is the beginning of the zodiac. So in the Northern Hemisphere, this is our first new moon of spring. This is beginning energy. And we are in the first house, as I said, and that is the house of self. So we're really going to tune in through the lens of really thinking of rewilding the self. Rewilding the self. Looking beginning at this new moon time and asking, is there a wilderness in me that I can allow to emerge? And the answer for most people is yes. And that looks completely different for each of us. But rewilding, sort of, even in the word rewilding, it holds the intelligence that, as Isadora Duncan, the famous dancer, once said, you were once wild here. Don't let them tame you. That inherent in our life as human beings, we are wild. We have instincts and impulses. We tune in, we respond to our environment. So there's a process in which we can get so kind of civilized or trained to be in whatever our particular family unit, our particular schooling systems, our country, the social norms of where we are, and we can lose touch with our instinctual nature. And our instinctual nature, the rise of the acknowledgement and the allowing and the rise of that sits at the very heart of the work we've been doing with the Wild Woman Project for the past 7+ almost 8 years. And I'm happy that we get this moment right at the beginning of the spring And of course, right at the beginning of fall for our Southern Hemisphere folks, we get the opportunity to remember this essential part of ourselves. And we're going to be doing it together in a community. So this would be a fantastic time to pick up, dust off, if it has any dust on it, your copy of Women Who Run with the Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype, written by Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who is she's like the midwife of the wild woman archetype into modern consciousness. So the wild woman archetype has existed for as long as humans have existed, but Dr. Estes really named this instinctual self. And specifically, this instinctual self that is part of the feminine psyche. And, so this would be a great time to pick up that book. And I want to read to you a little passage from that book just to get us kind of tuned into our theme and the opportunity of our theme this moon cycle. So she writes, "The doors to the world of the wild self are few but precious. If you have a deep scar, that is a door. If you have an old story, that is a door. If you love the sky and the water so much you almost cannot bear it, that is a door. If you yearn for a deeper life, a full life, a sane life, that is a door." So I love that Dr. E paints this beautiful picture that there are so many ways in to that wild self, that instinctual self. And every example that she lists here has to do with something that is our own, a deep scar, an old story, a love that we have for the sky or the water, a yearning that we have. And that's a really important thing to hone in on. And like, if I had one wish for all of us this moon cycle, if we could really get something, I would say it's around understanding that our wisdom is inside of us. And it is woven into the fabric of our lives. We don't have to reach for the oracle cards or the book or the new podcast or the shiny object. That in fact, at any moment, we can stop with exactly what we have here. Exactly what we have here: our body, our flesh, our memories, our consciousness, our hearts, our voice. And we can listen to that. And within that, if we can learn to look inside of all of that and feel into it, if we can find the treasure, it's all here, like here, wherever you are standing or sitting or walking right now, it's right with you, just as mine is right with me. And that's an important something for us to reclaim in the year 2019 as modern women and modern people on the earth. For so long, a lot of spiritual tradition has had us looking out there, had our moral compass sort of coming from rule books that are not connected with, us, just as we are. And in fact, a lot of those traditions are distrustful of instinct. So I think the emerging of the wild woman archetype, the emerging of the feminine, the very clear rising of women on earth right now has to do with the understanding that wisdom doesn't come from reaching out there, but it's right here, and it's right in this breath, and it's right in this moment, and it's right in the space between two people. It's in the aliveness of the unfolding process of life. So that's my wish. I know it's small, but that's my wish for us, is that this moon cycle, as we're focusing on rewilding the self, you're going to notice here at the Wild Woman Project, please get on our email list, follow us on social media, by the way, and we're going to be offering up tools and stories and helpful thoughts to hopefully open up some of the doors. Meanwhile, we can, as individuals within this larger community, just focus on what does it mean for me to rewild myself? What does that actually mean to me? And we can start with, at new moon time, really listening to our intuition, really listening to our inner guidance, and not stopping there, not just listening and receiving the message, but take some actions, move on that guidance. It's like trusting your gut, taking that information and actually taking action. So that's the invitation this month. And Rewilding the Self is the center of our focus for the moon cycle. It is the theme of all of the Wild Woman Project circles happening all over the globe in 17 countries. So if the idea of tuning into this theme and the idea of gathering together with other women for meditation, for sharing, for intention setting, if that seems juicy to you, I hope you will check out the link below this video and find a circle near you. If for any reason you can't make your circle this month, or there's not one near you yet, I always make your new moon retreat, which you can download this moment. And it is a meditation. I'm very proud of this meditation, by the way. If you want to rewild yourself, I think it's really going to help. And I make a new moon magazine that has all sorts of helpful information, inspiring quotes, journaling prompts, etc., etc. So that's something you can do solo wherever you are, and you can download that right now. So before I let you go, this moon cycle at the Wild Woman Project is kind of a big deal because two major things are happening. One, registration is open for Wild Woman Project Circle Leader Training. We do it twice a year, and our spring training starts in May on the 13th. As of this recording, about half of the spots are filled, and we've been open. The registration's been open for about a week and a half. We have sold out the last many rounds, like the last 9 rounds or so. So I always tell people, if you want to get on board for it, I do it early, and it's 100% online. It's 7 weeks, built to help you, like, on one hand, really focus in on this awakening of the wild woman archetype in you. And on the other hand, really gaining skills to really skillfully lead a women's circle in your local community. So if that calls to you, link below this video. And the other big thing that happens this moon cycle will happen on April 26th. That's what we call Fest Friday. That's when ticket sales open at noon for Wild Woman Fest. So Wild Woman Fest, we're in our 6th annual Wild Woman Fest. It will happen in August on top of a mountain. It is a glorious retreat, celebratory and rich. It's 4 days, 5 nights of ritual, workshops, circles, bonfires, desserts, sister time. It's delicious. And it's honestly like my New Year's every year. So last year, our tickets did sell out in just a couple of hours. We never know how it's going to go each year, but we do have fewer tickets to sell than we've ever had before, just because we pre-sold tickets at the festival last year. So if you want to be there on the mountain in August. Highly recommend you go over to wildwomanfest.com, link below this video, and sign up to get our emails, and I will send you an email with the link to sign up the moment that they go on sale. So very exciting on both fronts, and I'm very excited about the, just the coming opportunities to gather together both online and in the flesh. And really, this whole rewilding the self theme is so central that we could hold the theme for 5 years and not be done with it. So I really, really hope that you'll take some time this new moon to tune in, to really ask yourself that big question: what does rewilding the self mean to me? Okay. Big love, big howls to you. Oh!